Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Stream Squad. So we've got an exciting show for you guys today. We've got some news on Facebook's new watch party, YouTube's new Explore app. Dan's got some tips on monetizing your videos, and you guys might have noticed some changes to Switcher Studio's dashboard. We're going to get into that in just a bit.
Stay tuned.
So thanks guys for tuning in. If it's your first time watching, I am Angela.
And I am Dan here, and this does feel a little bit weird. I'm so used to being behind the camera with the computer in front of me or something, and today I'm just gonna hang out back and relax because we're switching up here and we actually have someone else here. We got Ernesto.
Hi,
Say
guys.
hey. Yeah, Ernesto's doing the switching for us, and he of course is the man behind the dashboard update. Him and Jared, one of our other developers, have been working really hard on that, so he's going to be able to tell you a ton about that later. So yeah, make sure to like, share this video. We love watching with everybody out there, and of course comment, let us know where you're from. We love seeing that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're live every week on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so that way you guys can always tune in. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you know, thanks for watching the playback. But also, if you do want to watch live, it is on our Facebook page, facebook.com/SwitcherStudio, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. But we're going to go ahead and get into some industry news. So we've got a lot of new on this week's show. So the first new thing is Facebook's watch party. So you guys might have seen this pop up already on your feeds, where any Facebook groups you're in, it might say someone, meaning a member of that group, is hosting a watch party. So Facebook is toting this as a way to turn groups into parties. And what happens is people in Facebook groups are able to watch both live and recorded videos together, so that way they can interact in real time, they can add comments in real time. It's similar to what you would normally see for a live video itself, but this way everyone gets notified that it is a watch party and there can be multiple co-hosts. And if there is a video that's been pre-recorded, you can upload it but host it as a watch party, and that way it gets that engagement that live videos normally have. So anyone in the group can host a watch party. It doesn't have to be an admin or a moderator or anything. Any person in that group can do a watch party, and they can also designate their co-hosts. And all of the co-hosts together control, you know, the playback, the playlist itself, if there's multiple videos going on. Facebook first rolled this out in January to limited use, and now it's worldwide as of last week. But they've seen that some watch parties are small, but a lot of them were going for hours and hours, where people, you know, either had maybe films or something they've made. Some groups had things like, I know the Royal Weddings one that they mentioned, and even just a bunch of video clips of things that relate to one another. Now, Facebook is hoping that these get people spending more time on Facebook, similar to how, you know, YouTube and Twitch broadcasts are normally very long. This way you can have hours and hours on the watch party on Facebook. This is also a good way for them to compete with YouTube and Twitch. Twitch rolled something similar out about 6 months ago. YouTube followed suit, so this way Facebook stays with that competition as well. Facebook does want you guys to know, though, that, you know, they are still, you know, kind of tuning in, seeing what's going on. So if there is anything that's copyrighted or that breaks the terms of service, they can still cancel that watch party. So if you are doing something you're not supposed to do, and your watch party all of a sudden dissolves, Facebook was watching.
Yeah, I think this is great. I remember it probably was 6 months ago we were talking about the Twitch and how cool of an idea that is, where instead of just people trickling in watching the video, it's like, hey, this is when the video is actually going live. Let's all get together and watch that together. So I think that's really cool. Awesome to see Facebook follow suit with Twitch and YouTube, for that matter.
For sure.
Speaking of YouTube, let's talk about this new Explore tab and what that could mean. So This we saw an article, and I think we've got a link that Ernesto might be able to post in the comments here for you all. But it hasn't really rolled out to many people yet. It's really just, I think they said 1% of only iOS YouTube apps right now. And what it's going to do is just help you find content you're interested in. I think the example that they give, and there's a video in there as well, and the example is like if you are watching videos on telescopes or something, it might show you, hey, you're interested in maybe some astrophotography or something. So here's some really good lenses and cameras that you can use to do that stuff. So I think that's really cool. Another thing that they're really looking to help out is those smaller channels or channels just starting out. They're calling it creators on the rise is how they're talking about it. And this is going to spotlight new creators or just people who's creating really good content, or if you have a whole bunch of really good content, they want to emphasize that and help promote those people more. So I mean, like right now, we all see YouTube, how saturated it's getting with so much different stuff. So if you're a new channel, it's harder to get started and going out there. So this could be a really good way where, you know, even though you're just starting out, if you're putting out good content and it relates to a lot of these things or this hobby that has a following on YouTube, there's a good chance that it's going to be able to pick up with this if this gets implemented. So that's something I'm hoping for. I hope this Explore tab takes off and it's something they put out for everybody.
Yeah, like I'm definitely excited for it. You know, when you see a lot of the biggest YouTube stars of today, when they talk about how they get started, a lot of them, I would actually say most of them got started because something similar to Creators on the Rise was on YouTube's homepage in the late 2000s, early 2010s, where, you know, if there was a certain video that got a lot of views over 24 hours, but it wasn't from a big channel, or it was from a smaller channel that had seen a bunch of new subscriptions come in within the past 24 to 48 hours, they would advertise those and say, hey, you guys might want to check these out. These could be, you know, new stars on the rise. And a lot of these bigger creators have said the reason it's so hard for people to break into YouTube now is that hasn't existed in like 6 or 7 years. So the big names get promoted on the homepage, but it's hard to get the small names out there. So, you know, there's been a lot of changes with YouTube. They've been trying to listen to their big talent. And I think this is definitely a step in the right direction where, of course, they're still going to promote, you know, who their top names are. But this way, those smaller channels just coming in with, you know, 1,000, 2,000 followers, they have a chance to get that exposure they need.
Yeah, I think it's really nice, just in lieu of a lot of the things that have having to happen with YouTube lately. It's nice to see them sticking up for that small creator again. Yeah. So let's hope that this comes out to everybody. Right now, like I said, it's just kind of almost an alpha. I wouldn't even call it in beta because it's just out there for just a small amount of people. But I'm hopeful. All right. So yeah, if you have, tell us how we did. If you saw some other articles or something, please let us know in the comments below or beside, depending, I guess, what you're watching on a phone or a computer or something. But yeah, let us know if you saw some really interesting articles. We'd love to talk about those or share those as well.
Yeah, and if you guys have any, you know, updates to either of the things we mentioned today, the YouTube Explore tab or the Facebook Watch Party, you know, definitely leave that in there as well, especially, you know, if you're part of the 1% who's seen the Explore tab on your device, or if you've tried out Watch Party on your own, let us know how it was.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that too. We might be doing some watch parties in our user group. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Anything good happening in those comments, Nesto?
We have Mark joined us. Jonathan Andre says saludos.
Hello.
That's who else has joined us. Nick Wood. Hello from Kent in England.
Awesome. Yeah, all over.
Randy. Hello from Glendale, California.
It's not Randy from Post Perspective, is it?
No, it's
not our Randy. Okay,
not our
she's
Randy.
New York. It's someone we know. We've worked with sometimes.
Tim Goldman. Hey, from rainy Atlanta.
Awesome, awesome. It's been rainy here as well.
Yeah.
Great. So I guess let's hop right into our next section here, which is, of course, that live video strategy. And we have a blog post coming out on this topic here in the next couple days. It might be going up today. I'm not exactly sure when we've scheduled to go, but this is talking about monetizing live video. So how to make some money while you're doing you're live. And I'm going to go over a couple of those topics, not all of them. You can of course find more information at that blog post at switcherstudio.com/blog. But yeah, there's just, if you start thinking creatively and get creative with your live video, there's a ton of things you can do to start making money with it. When we first started out with Switcher, one of the things that we were seeing, or we were working with some radio stations, and they work closely, and they had the idea of a title sponsor, or someone who's going to be sponsoring like all of your streams. So they were going out to like a big car dealership in a small town or something, and they were like, hey, for X amount of dollars, you'll be our title sponsor for all of our streams, and we'll put your logo down in the corner, and we will mention you on our live broadcast that you are the title sponsor. This is coming to you from you. So that's just like the first little way, is finding a title sponsor. Of course, you can get other sponsors as well and put their logos on screen. Maybe just mention them as you're talking throughout it. Another option, of course, is actually putting ads on your videos. Now, be careful with that with Facebook. Facebook frowns upon, they don't want third-party ads on your videos. So I think YouTube is a little more lax, so you might be able to get away with it there. But I mean, especially with Switcher Studio, it's easy to add those pre-recorded videos, so you can bring those things in. Even if it's something like in the radio example that we're using, we were seeing some stations go out there and they would like either find a logo of the company or take a picture of their location or a couple pictures of what they're doing and put a slideshow together. And with that slideshow, they're able to pretty much play the radio spot that they already have, and then it just adds a little extra to that commercial that you're doing. So you don't even need the exact full recorded commercial for that. Let's see here, what else? Fundraise on the stream. This is something we've talked about before. I know we have a post on the blog specifically about fundraising and how some people have used Switcher to do that. It is a little tough to not have that clickable link on your Facebook, especially video. So instead of doing that, you could do something like, as you can see right down here, let's see if I can point to it, that where it says monetizing live video, you can make that say something else. Maybe it says, you know, to donate, and you can leave the link there, and people can find that link there. You can also do a pinned post, so if you're going live on Facebook, and YouTube allows you to do this as well, you can pin a post so it's always at the top, and you can put the information on where you would go to donate to the stream, and you can put the link in there as well, any instructions that they need to follow to do that. So yeah, with doing that, it just makes it really easy for people to find that information. And you can, of course, as you're just talking about it, be like, hey, we have a pinned post. You can go there and find information on how to support our stream that we're doing here. And the last thing I'll talk about here right now is creating additional content around that. So I said like supporting the stream. There are some options. I know a lot of the YouTube creators out there are using a site called Patreon, where people can subscribe and give you like a monthly amount of money, and they get different tiers and they get different things for those. So you could create additional streams, maybe do a quick Q&A session, or something. I think, especially if you're in like a niche hobby or something, show them a behind the scenes, show them what's happening behind what's happening. So maybe you're doing sports or something, talk about how you set up your live video, or what happens behind the scenes. Maybe go to a coach's press conference or something. I don't know. There's tons of ideas, but yeah, just create that additional content. It can be on something like that Patreon page, where it's like, hey, if you want to get this additional content and talk more with us, you can check all that stuff out there. A lot of these things are made really easy with Switcher Studio. That's why we kind of made Switchers, to be able to give you all these tools. So yeah, if you do kind of get creative with Switcher and just think outside the box with the lower thirds or pre-recorded video, you can really do some cool things and even start monetizing your live videos.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be posted on our blog very shortly. It's switcherstudio.com/blog. There's a lot of cool things on there, so it's not just Switcher Studio related, but more, you know, kind of in general, how to do live video, how to make your live videos better, and what all goes into that. And when you go to switcherstudio.com/blog, there's actually a section to subscribe where you can put your email address in. You don't get spam or anything like that. Just anytime we upload a new blog post, which is usually on a weekly basis, you'll get an email letting you know that we did upload that new blog and a little description of what it's about, so that way you can stay in the know. So make sure to go to switcherstudio.com/blog to read the full thing about monetizing your video, but also to subscribe for the future blog posts as well. So
with that, I guess, yeah, that's all we got for the live video strategy. Next section, of course, is that switch it up. With this one, we just kind of like we're doing in the office today. We like to switch things up and just let it fly.
Yeah.
Figure out what we're going to talk about and go for it. And this week, of course, we do have some updates to the Switcher Studio dashboard. And what's the other one? I have it written down, right? Switcher Studio dashboard. Oh, and talking about the Facebook group streaming, right?
Yeah, so we've got updates to both of those. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for an update on group streaming. Just a little overview for anyone not aware. Facebook did make some changes back in April, where to stream to a Facebook group, you had to use the RTMP, which is the server URL from your page. We do have group streaming back within the app, but there is a new process to set that up. And as Dan said, there's some updates to the dashboard as well. So luckily for us, one of the guys in charge of putting these updates together is on the stream today, Ernesto, and he's going to let you guys know more about this.
Yeah, take it away, Ernesto.
Hey guys, so yeah, as Angela alluded, there's some updates to the dashboard. One of them is default destinations, which we just added recently, as well as groups. So we're going to go over those today to see how you can take advantage of those and actually get started with streaming with groups again. So I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. All right. So I'm logged into the Switcher Studio dashboard as Dan, so I'll promise not to stream anything horrible. Maybe. All right, so let's dive in here. Send this. There we go. Take that away. Okay, so let's go over default destinations because I think it's one of the neatest things that we've added recently. So whenever you set up your Switcher Studio account and link Facebook for the first time, you'll actually be asked where you want to stream to by default. So let's look into that actually. I'm going to unlink Dan's account and I'm going to link it up again.
Don't give out my password, man.
Oh no, it's a secret. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as you can see, you can stream to your timeline by default or any of the pages that you have that you're an administrator of. So, and shortly we'll be adding groups as a default destination as well. But for now, it's timeline and pages. So I'm going to select the Switcher Studio Live Testing page as my default. And what will happen is that whenever you open up Facebook in the dashboard or in the app, you're going to see this page as the default. You don't have to go in and select pages and then scroll down and select that page again. You simply go in and this is automatically selected for you. So all you have to do is, if you choose, you can add a title and a description, select your quality, and then hit Create Live Stream, and then you're ready to go live. So that greatly simplifies the process, especially if you're going live to the same page all the time. Of course, if you're wanting to change where you're going live to, you can always click the Choose button at the top, and then you'll see the familiar interface where you can choose timeline, page, group, and private test stream as well, which I don't know if you guys covered that before.
We haven't talked about that, no.
Yeah, let's talk about it real quick. It's actually pretty simple. So all that's happening here is, this is the same as choosing my timeline and then choosing only me. So basically, this will stream to your timeline, to your Facebook timeline, and then only you can see it. None of your friends can see it. It's not public. So if you just want to test something out, play around with some ideas in Switcher, and select private test stream, select your quality, and hit Create Live Stream, and then you're ready to go. Okay, so it makes it really simple just to test something. So that's it for default streaming and also for the private stream. But let's talk about groups a little bit. So groups have not been available since around April, but recently we've got groups re-enabled through the Facebook API. And now when you select groups, you should see a list of all your groups on here. Now,
probably have some weird ones.
Right,
but
yeah.
I don't even know how I got into.
It's me. I logged into Dan's account and signed him up for some groups. But anyway, like some of you may have encountered some issues streaming the groups even though they appear here. So first of all, you need to make sure that you're an administrator of the group or the administrator of the group has installed the Switcher app to the group, and we'll go over that. So basically, let's experiment here. So if we look in here, there's a group that we created.
Might need to put in the multi-view there again.
Let me go back to the multi-view or this view here. There you go. I selected group, and then I selected Switcher live testing group that were created for just demo purposes, testing. Right? So if I try to go live here, I think we're going to see that 200 error. Yay, good. Okay.
Yay, errors, let's go.
Right. So a lot of you have probably encountered this a lot recently, especially if you're not an administrator of a lot of these groups, you're going to get that error. And what that means is that Switcher is not allowed to stream to that group, or you're not an administrator of the group. So to solve that, so they could, the owner of the group could add you as an administrator, or the owner of the group can add Switcher Studio as an app to the group. So let's look at how to add Switcher Studio as an app to a group. So if we go back to...
I guess this works even not just for Switcher Studio, if you just need to add any app to the group, right?
Any app that has groups access will show up in this list, and you'll see there's a lot of apps in here. So if we go, where is it? Here we go. So this is the Switcher live testing group. And I'm going to go click on more and then edit group settings. I'm going to scroll down. And here in the apps section, you can click add apps. And there's tons of apps, but you can just search for Switcher. And there it is, so we'll add it. And now, since we added Switcher Studio to the apps section, anyone that's using Switcher Studio will be able to stream to that group specifically. So if we go back to our Switcher Studio thing, and we attempt this, we'll see sometimes it takes a little while before it registers. But there it is.
Feeling good.
Yep,
yeah,
that was good.
First try.
It's a good demo.
Awesome.
Right. So yeah, there you have it. You can finally stream to groups again. It only takes a little bit of setup. If you're an administrator of the group, you just stream to that group. You don't have to do anything else. If you're not an admin but you still want to stream to that group, then you need to have the owner or the admin of that group add Switcher Studio as an app to that group.
Yeah, that's some awesome stuff. I love seeing updates to the dashboard. I think it's one of those things, when we do the webinar, which I guess I can talk about right now. Yeah. Angela and I do a webinar in our user group, the Switcher Studio Enthusiast on Facebook. That's one of the things I always go over is that dashboard, because I think that's something that not many people know is there, being able to log into the Switcher Studio website and get to that dashboard and access all these features like linking your accounts and doing stuff like setting up your streams right from there. So super cool stuff. Shout outs to Ernesto and Jeremiah for setting that stuff up and making all those things possible. But yeah, so like I said, I'm sure a lot of times on these live videos we have comments from people asking specific Switcher questions. So if you still have some questions about this stuff or other Switcher things, make sure to join that group, the Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, and we'll be doing a webinar in there at 4 p.m. Eastern. I guess that's what, 1?
Yeah, 1 p.m.
Pacific, yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing it there. You can join us, ask any questions, and yeah, we'll be sitting just like this, answering those questions. But to get into that enthusiast groups, you have to do a couple things, and Angela has all that information.
Yeah, so there's 3 ways to get into the enthusiast group. One method, probably the quickest method, is if you guys are watching this on our Facebook page right now on a computer, just facebook.com/switcherstudio. There's a menu on the left-hand side, and one of the menu options says groups. If you click on groups, it's going to take you to the Switcher Studio Enthusiast group. Also, you can use the search bar at the top of your screen on Facebook, type in Switcher Studio Enthusiast, and the group will come up that way. The other option, if you're already a Switcher Studio user, you can log into your dashboard at switcherstudio.com, and there's an option on the home page that says join the community. So any of those methods will work. After you join the group, there's going to be a short survey to fill out. It just lets us know more of how you're using Switcher Studio and what we can do to make it even better for you guys. And after that, you'll have full access to the group. We are super close to 3,000 members. It's a very active group, so you can share tips and tricks, you can ask questions, and you can also share video you've made. So, you know, we highly recommend posting what the video is about, what kind of equipment you used, even things like your networking, your audio, just so other people can know, you know, what makes your video unique and how it was set up.
Just get good ideas as well, right?
Yeah, and if you post your video anywhere else, like on Twitter or Instagram,
or in
the group, we recommend using the hashtag #MadeWithSwitcher. We do go through that hashtag, and that helps us find your video. We do love seeing all the videos, and it helps us to choose one video a week to show on streamsquad. That's just a great example of what can be done with Switcher. So for today's show, we have a video by the Yorkshire
Two videos, right?
Yeah, 2 videos by the Yorkshire Evening Post at the Flamingo Land Resort. So these are really cool videos. They're both a little over 30 minutes in length, and they're both engaging and educational. So they're doing interviews with different members, you know, of the Flamingo Land Resort. They're showing shots of the animals. You've got baby giraffes, you've got hippos.
Who doesn't love baby animals,
I know, right? You've got, and the different members of the staff are going over questions, you know, with the interviewer just to let them know more about the resort. They've also got a lot of full screen graphics advertising different events coming up in Flamingo Land, advertising when they'll be live again. They've got a really cool intro video with a countdown timer they've made, and they're using our social media banners to let people know where to follow them at. So these videos are really well done. They've got high quality, they've got great content, and as I said, they're really engaging to watch, they're fun to watch, but they're also educational, and that way you'll get some information about, you know, animal life as well.
One thing I think is awesome about these as well, I don't know if you mentioned it, but it's just one camera.
Yeah,
like there's just
it's
just the one camera setup, and he's bringing a bunch of pre-recorded video. The lower thirds are great. I think something he's doing is shooting video with Switcher and then bringing that video in as a source. And that's a cool tip I think we could throw out there. If you do need some quick B-roll, you can go into Switcher, mute your audio, record that, and then you have instant B-roll to bring in. So we've done that a lot. I think that's something they're doing here with the Yorkshire Evening Post. I think we've talked about them before. I just think it's really cool, really nice produced video, and it shows you how effective you can be with just the one camera. Like, I know the name Switcher says, like, you know, you can connect up to 9 cameras, but not everyone needs that, and I think it's really cool to see what's possible with just that one device.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you know, make sure to give the Yorkshire Evening Post some love. You know, check out their videos. They're doing really great things. And again, for all you guys watching who are creating content with Switcher Studio, use hashtag #MadeWithSwitcher. Again, we do go through all of those videos, and you'll also have a chance to be our hashtag #MadeWithSwitcher star for a week.
I like that. Hashtag #MadeWithSwitcher star for a week. All right, so that's all the time that we've got for right now, or for this week. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. don't forget to follow us on Facebook. You can click the link. I think it's right below the video player or right to the right.
Depends on what screen you're watching, but it's one of those.
Yeah, you hit the follow button. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, thanks for checking that out as well. You can hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to watch these live, we're live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Did I say 2 p.m., right? 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can check us out next week here, same time, same place. Again, thank you so much to everybody who tuned in this week. And we will see you next week.
See you guys.
Take care.